Hi, I'm Paul Ciantinello. Welcome to the Upside, the show where we talk about all the good things that are happening in the town of Longmeadow. And today my guest is Kathy Grady, who's our program director up at the Council on Aging. At the senior.
Yes, Longmeadow Adult Center.
Yes, it changed the name again. I know they're having an identity crisis. Can't. God forbid we call it the Senior Center, but we're all getting there at some
formerly
point in time.
known as.
Yes, formerly known as. But it's at the Longmeadow Adult Center where Kathy is a program director. She's here today to talk about something very exciting that's going on up there. I won't. I was going to make a joke, but I won't even do that. So why don't you tell us a little bit what's going on at the Senior Center?
Well, you know I'm in charge of the fun. That's my real title.
Yes.
And we're going to
That's a great job, by the way. That's on your business card. I'm in charge of fun.
It is the best job ever. And we're doing something else new this year, and that is live senior theater, we call it. We got a grant for it from the Longmeadow Cultural Council, a division of the Massachusetts Cultural Council, and hired a professional director, and we're doing a play. Excellent. It's not a very long play. It's a modest.
But the play's going to be at the Adult Center.
It's going to be at the Adult Center, and we're going May 24th, Thursday, May 24th. It's going to be at 3 and at 6. We'll do 2 performances. It is all people who come to the Adult Center. There's 12 people in it. I'm going to be in it too.
Yeah.
And it's based on Spoon River Anthology, which you may or may not know. It's kind of an old...
Yeah, you might want to tell people what that
old thing, yeah. Edward Lee Masters wrote in 1915. But it is a series of really monologues that are like epitaphs in this small town, Spoon River, Illinois. So when you pull out some of those epitaphs and read them, they're like poems, but they tell about the person's life. And when you pull them out, the overall feel of the play is like our town, because everybody has a story and they all interweave and create an impression of small town America. We're placing it like in the 20s.
Can they hear any of this? No? Okay, good. Because there's a lot of noise going on here, folks, and we still think it's Gerald Duquette trying to break into the show, but we try to keep him out as best we can.
It sounds like he brought a couple of barrels.
Yeah, well, every once in a while he does get past security, so I don't know, maybe he was in the barrel. I'm sorry. So as long as you can't hear that at home, we're okay.
Anyway, it's a sweet little play.
It's a great play that's going to go on at the
It's
Adult
funny,
Center.
it's touching,
But all of our talent is homegrown.
It's all homegrown talent, and Steve has cast people against type a lot.
Okay.
So, like, I'm playing a drunk deacon.
Well, that's not so far off, is it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very powerful. Another role I'm playing is the town milliner. Oh, and Kay Duclos loaned me the most fabulous hat.
What is a milliner?
Makes hats.
Oh, there we go.
And
you could have said town hat maker, but
she's the milliner.
Okay, she's the milliner.
And
that's why they're out of business.
And she apparently steals other people's husbands. You see, against type.
As opposed to hats. Yeah, that's okay.
She makes hats.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's someone you will be surprised to see cast as the town prostitute, and it's good. The town sheriff.
Well, if it's against type, hopefully it's a guy.
The town criminal. It's not that against type. Anyway, it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to. Anyway, we have a lot of hope for it, and my other
Can
hope.
people come from? I mean, is it?
It's free.
From the public can go and watch.
It's free and open to the public. Okay. It's at the Adult Center, May 24th, Thursday, at 3 and at 6, and it's open to the public. It's free, but we're doing a program book to raise a little money for the next production. We hope to have another production, maybe in the fall or.
So you have a real director, though, so it's not anybody saying I'm in charge and.
No, it's a real director, and he's
Which
wonderful.
is good because you have someone who has experience who knows how to put the play together and that type of thing.
Yes, and the interesting thing is, I said to people, if you have ever been on a stage, and 6th grade counts, but we wound up getting people who have never been on a stage.
Oh, that's excellent.
And Steve's just a wonderful director. He's kind, but he's.
So how much time are you putting into? How many? Obviously, it sounds like you're rehearsing already.
10 rehearsals. There's 10 rehearsals.
Okay, so this is serious.
It's serious, yes. Oh, and there's no memorization, so nobody's going to get lost.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Well, see, I
Steve's,
can handle that.
yeah, you could. You're not old enough, but you could. Steve's done this in Agawam, Munson, Loomis House, a bunch of places.
So all of our cast is homegrown, but these are people who are coming to the senior center a lot, or they're right. So I mean, that's where where you've recruited them from.
Yes.
You've had open auditions and.
We didn't have auditions. We just had people show up and see if they were willing to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's a big step. Though,
because
to
there's
stage.
something for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the idea.
But still, you're on stage, though. I mean, it's not. A lot of people would never do that.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
I know
so
that.
That's a pretty big deal, and it's free though, right? There's no admittance fee.
No.
Oh, why are we? Jeez, no wonder we're raising taxes on people. But that's a different issue. But it's free to the public. The only thing we have going on right now is a program book. But other than that, you can come at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
We might sell cookies and lemonade.
There we go.
Yeah.
So you get
$10 for a glass of lemonade.
Yeah, the ticket's free. It's only going to cost you $30 for a cookie.
No, I don't know. Anyway,
you turn up the heat and sell that lemonade. So how long do you think is the play? From the time it starts to the time it ends?
It's only going to be about an hour.
Okay.
And no intermission, so we won't sell much lemonade.
There goes that. Jeez.
There goes that.
Now, is everybody having fun with it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and people are having fun with it, but they're also serious about it.
Yeah.
They're working on their parts. And
so there's 12 parts in the play.
Yes.
12 different people having
12 different people. Actually, there's like 20. Everybody has two.
A two-part, okay.
Occasionally 3.
Wow.
Different characters. And in between, there's little we all sit in a semicircle on the, well, we're calling it a stage. It's not really a semicircle. And then as people go up to the mic and come back, we do little things, say little things, you know. Steve calls them tweeners. Okay. Like, ooh, meow.
There we go.
Sex.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, so it's we're having a lot of fun with it, and everybody in it is having a lot of fun with it, and it's new and different for the center, and I'm hoping it'll continue.
Yeah, this is a first.
This is a first
for the center.
This is a first.
It's for people to come out and at least be active in it. That's a good thing. I mean, that's and it's just another activity that's being offered up there.
Well, I had this other activity of reading radio scripts the last 2 years, and I would download free radio scripts from this site of things that you're way too young to remember the radio. But there used to be shows on the radio, and Fibber, McGee, and Molly, and so forth. And we read them, and what I discovered was a lot of talent. Yeah. Just reading among ourselves, these people really were good. And so when I was approached about this project, I said, actually, I know where all the hams are. Yeah, we have a lot of people who are hams. Yep. And anyway, so.
And overall, I think what people in town need to know about the Long Meadow Adult Center is that you should go up there. If you've never been up there, go up there, because you'll see. It's like a little beehive. There's all kinds of activities going on. There's everything from and if you really want a really good lunch that's affordable, go to the last time I was up there, that $2, and I forgot what it was, but it was probably it was like a broccoli and cheese quiche that was just absolutely delicious, and it was $2, and people actually wait on you.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Well, it's very unusual to have a chef, sous chefs. A lot of places have prepackaged meals, if they have meals at all. We have it every day. For lunch, it's really like a dinner. And it's cooked on site. And yes, volunteers bring it to your table.
And you have to make a reservation.
The day before.
Day before. And it's in demand.
So that he'll know, yeah.
But I mean, when I've been up there for lunch, I haven't seen too many empty seats.
No.
Yeah.
We get anywhere from 35 to 65 people, and boy, it's cram-jammed at 65. Plus, we send out Meals on Wheels. Before lunch, the same lunch goes out.
Yeah. And one of the things that's very
It's
important,
about
I think,
50 people or 60 people.
that the community understands is that when you talk
Housebound.
about the lunch program, the Meals on Wheels are one thing. I think that's easy to conceptualize, that, you know, you have to bring it to someone to their home because they can't get to the lunch program or have the availability for that. But when you go up there and you see the lunch that's being served and the people are there, and I've asked at different times, and it really does serve a purpose of, A, getting some people out of their house.
Socialization is
right.
really the name of the game.
And some people,
being with
and
other people.
they need that because that is going to be their meal of the day for some of them. But for probably the majority of the people, it's to get out there and be amongst their peers in their age group, and that, you know, to get out of the house and be able to. We sat at a table and just the stories that kept going around and around, they were great. I mean, I appreciate that because you're, you know, because first of all that group at that table, the last lunch.
Oh, you were with the vets.
With the vets, just, you know, and it's like sitting around, and not to be insulted, but like with my grandparents and listen, or my uncles and my father and that type of thing, and listen to them, and whether they were complaining or just questions or whatever, it was good. It was a good conversation. They were happy, and you know, one guy is telling somebody else about something that they found out for the very first time, and then. You know, I know one of the guys at the table was Jerry Nolet, and there was some card that you have to have for your vet benefits, and some guys didn't know about it. And so, A, it's a socialization, but it's also a way for people to trade information about what's going on out there.
Absolutely.
And not just vets, but people in general.
Well, we have this great new veterans agent. He's terrific, and he's full-time, which is required by the state. And so it's drawing even more vets. We've always had like 30. I think that little group is growing to like 50 who come there quite a lot.
Because I stood for the last vets meeting, that I stood up there for a little bit, and the crowd was definitely bigger than what I had seen in the past. But you really, if you haven't had the ability to go up to the senior center, or never had the Long Meadow Adult Center, and never had the chance or opportunity to, you really should take it. First of all, there's a thrift store there.
Oh, yes. It's all donations, but
I've purchased things out of there for my office at work.
Who hasn't? Yeah. Robin goes shopping there about once a month.
I know people, but it's great because there's all different kinds of items. There's no, you know, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just they might have a bunch of coats one time, or they might have a bunch of knickknacks, or they have greeting cards.
We always have books, lots of books.
And greeting cards.
We don't put out all the really old books, but we have lots of great books, and they're like a quarter.
Yeah.
And 50 cents. So.
Yeah. So I mean, take a look if you've never been up there.
And people buy them, and they read them, and they bring them back.
Yeah, it's a great thing. So, but the center itself provides activities. It's a service to the community.
We have 5 languages now.
None of which are English, but none of you have 5 languages.
We're not teaching English.
The center teaches 5
But we just
different
added
languages.
Spanish.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago we added Polish, German, and we've had French and Italian for a long time. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Besides the fact that the bridge games, which is like cutthroat up there, from what my understanding is.
Oh, well, you mean the
interrupt-
duplicate bridge game,
Yeah,
which is
all
there
I know
on
is-
Mondays and Fridays.
All I know is there's a room you do not go in and bother those people.
You do not. It's
They will
very
kill
serious.
you.
They're very
Yes.
quiet,
Yes.
but they fill up the parking lot. But they're very quiet. No, but there are other rubber bridge games that do make more noise and are friendlier.
But there's all kinds of activities. There from mahjong games, from what I understand. I went into a room. There was one of those.
We have
going
another
on.
theatrical production in May.
Okay.
It's we're doing this with the library. You know, we do trips with the JCC.
Yeah.
We're going to do a trip with Parks, and we put in this grant with the library. So we're trying to all work together, and it is a theatrical production. It's a one-woman show about Mrs. Andrews, who was a survivor of the Titanic. Now, we originally got her in April, but then she got way too busy. This is the 100th anniversary of the Titanic.
This is a production, but this is the real person. No. Okay, so... Well,
100 years ago, the Titanic.
Well, no, I understand that, but you
if
just
she
said,
remembered anything, she'd be like 120.
But you just said we had it...
I kept telling people it's a Titanic survivor. You were not the first person to say, really?
Well, that's what I meant, because you said she was busy. Okay. Oh, but it's a person doing this. Okay.
It's an actress.
An actress who's Anne or whatever her name is, Molly. What you already
Mrs.
said.
Andrews.
Mrs. Andrews. Same
She's
thing.
playing Mrs. Andrews.
Right.
Her name is Denise Veneria.
Okay. Well,
And she's quite famous
Well,
in
you
the. There's a Titanic community, you know, and she's famous in the Titanic community.
It's got a big hole in the middle of it, but otherwise.
She's in. There's a Belfast Titanic Society. There's a lot of Titanic stuff. It's like a world. But anyway.
It's kind of like Elvis impersonators. They're out there.
Yeah, I don't think there's many because she was all over the country, Florida, Illinois, and turned out she couldn't do us in April, which is was the actual anniversary.
She plays a survivor of the Titanic and goes to, this is a production, and she goes and basically tells the story.
About her life. Her husband, Mr. Andrews, Mr. Andrews was one of the chief engineers of the Titanic.
Okay.
And, 90% of the men went down. It was women and children.
Yeah, that's been a different time. Today that wouldn't have.
I know. I know, but it was a different time.
Yes. Well,
and they really didn't expect it to go down.
And will this be at the Adult Center as well?
This is at the Adult Center. That is May 10th.
Okay.
I think that's also a Thursday. May 10th. Oh, it's real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be good.
Again,
free. That's supported by a grant.
Well, that's important, the free part. Is there anything else going on at the Adult Center that we want to tell people about? Any trips?
Oh, yeah. We plan those way in advance, So in June, we're going up to Barrington Stage to see, what are we going to see? Actually, it slips my mind because in July,
the big one's in July, obviously.
In July, we're going to Tanglewood and to see Bernadette Peters and the Boston Pops.
Oh, wow.
In a matinee performance. I tell you, that sold out in a week in February.
Wow.
And we're having lunch at Cranwell. Did you ever see Cranwell? Yeah. The castle on the hill.
That's a fancy place.
They're giving us lunch at a very reasonable cost.
Excellent. So everybody gives us fancy.
I was trying to keep the
That's
price.
a great program, though. Bernadette Peters and the Boston Pops.
How about that?
I
called
big.
right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
See, things are happening, shaking.
I know. I just did one for August 30th to go to another we're doing all theater today.
There's a theme. We're heading into Broadway type themes here.
Yeah. I just booked a trip to the Mack Hayden Theater, which is in New York State, but it's really very close, Chatham. And we're going to see State Fair August 30th, which is as a musical, and it's a great night for singing is one of the songs from. It's early Rodgers and Hammerstein.
And these are trips that, just so people know, that these are trips that are being put together by our program coordinator, and whether they're in conjunction with the JCC or the library or whoever you're hooking up to do this with, or just out of the Adult Center, that people sign up for and pay for.
Right.
And it's all part of, so whatever the ticket costs for Bernadette Peters and the Boston Pops.
They actually make money. Because when you're designing a trip, you don't want, I learned this the first month when I did it wrong. You don't want to have to sell every single ticket in order to pay your nut, the bus.
Yep.
So now we do it with like 2/3, and then, but they sell out, and then it's gravy.
Okay.
We also do little van trips.
Yep.
We're going to go to Wisteria Museum in Holyoke.
Okay.
And we're going to the Armory next month. I help the veterans agent do this trip. And we're going to have a tour by what are they? Park Ranger.
Park Rangers. They're real Park
Ranger.
Yep. And they got the little hats.
Yep. We're gonna go up to the Bridge of Flowers sometime during the summer. We're going to go up to that Kringle thing. I think I'll do that in July. Christmas in July.
There you go.
You know that Michael Kittredge, a big thing going on up the valley. They say it's great.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought candles?
So we're going to, so we'll have Christmas in July. Anyway, so we do a lot of different kinds of trips and kinds of things. Our computer classes actually draw from more than Longmeadow, and
that's the other thing. The people who come up there and enjoy the programs don't necessarily have to live in Longmeadow, correct?
As I always say, we don't card.
I know.
Sometimes people whisper to me, "I'm 59." 59, yes. Or 61, do I count? We don't card. But Tom Johnson does this great computer program of these very short courses. I couldn't believe iPad, how popular it was. I'm like, I don't even know anybody except my sister got it as a gift who has an iPad. First class, 25 people came. 20 of them had their own iPads.
Wow.
But one guy still had it in a box. His wife had won it. He was not a senior. And he said, she's working, so I came to find out, how do we turn it on?
Very good. Wow.
Yes, but a lot of people, their kids, their grandkids are giving them iPads, and Tom is, originally, I said to Tom in December, could you give an iPad class? I think there's more people who have them than we know. And he said, I don't know anything about it, I don't have one, blah, blah, blah. Christmas Day, he emails me, Santa brought me an iPad. I'll be ready to teach it in about a month.
Okay.
Anyway, and I think we're giving that class at the beginning of May, 2 sessions, or maybe three. And I think it's the 3rd or 4th time we've given it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And one of the things you mentioned, that you don't have to be a senior to go to the language classes or the iPad classes. So that's it. If you're looking for just some activity to get out of the house or to learn a language,
right,
they can come to it. So it's not, there's a misperception out there, misconception, whatever, about, that's for the retirees. That's where they go. But these classes,
I'm telling you, retirees are very young these days.
Yeah.
And they're coming in every week. I'm newly retired. And you know what they come in for? Sometimes they come in. I had new people coming in for genealogy because of the 1940 census.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's going to be very big in May when they finally have it
there's a little
indexed.
disappointment there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It's the government.
Actually, no. It was sent out to private.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Had someone come in genealogy. I'm sorry, cut you off.
Yeah, now I forgot where I was going to go. Anyway, we do get oh, you're a riot.
It's just a theme.
You're a laugh
sorry.
riot.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yes.
But my
no,
point,
we do. Oh, they come in to volunteer.
Oh.
They occasionally come in for a class, but mostly new retirees come in. How can I help?
Wow.
We have over 250 volunteers. Ellen Gold does the volunteers. And they serve the lunches. They do the Meals on Wheels. They run the shop. The shop is totally volunteers.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff. Actually, we got a call from a mother the other day whose son is 16 and looking for work. It's really hard these days. Yeah. And for the summer. And Ellen said, do you need anything? And I said, actually, our computer coach, where you get an hour free advice on any problem you're having with your computer. And if it's a laptop, people bring them in. And otherwise, we have a bank of computers. Our coach is taking the summer off. So I said, see if he can coach. So he's going to come in and meet with me. And the mother said, oh, he loves computers. He knows everything. And yeah, so we get a lot of volunteers, but new retirees come in, and the first thing they do is volunteer. Okay. And actually, our new Spanish class, she came in to volunteer. She's young, and she came in to volunteer, and she said, after Ellen went through all the opportunities, she said, I'd really like to teach Spanish. And she said, go talk to Kathy. And she's teaching Spanish.
And that's a good thing to point out to people that, again, it's not the adult center. Yes, it is adult-centered focus for retirees. I mean, that's predominantly what we think of it, but there's so many different programs up there, whether it's an iPad course or a language that you might want to take up or learn how to play bridge. And I don't know if they like newbies in there because they might cut their heads off. Okay, but yeah.
John Sedgwick on Monday, those big games are the afternoons of Monday and Friday, but in the morning he has bridge lessons and bridge refresher on Friday. And anybody can go into that and you'll learn stuff or see if it comes back to you from college. Yep. The college where you wasted your opportunity playing bridge.
Excuse me. To switch tracks a little bit, Dr. Grady has a show here on LCTV called Live in History.
Living, yes.
And as one of the, as two of the top talents here at LCTV, how's your show going? What's coming up on that?
Do you think we could get like big pictures on the wall?
I'm still looking for my own dressing room, or something, but that's okay.
We have to find out what Brian Williams has.
I gotta go change in the hallway. That's how bad it is.
Yes.
So what's coming up on your show?
LCTV is so great. LCTV is going to light our show. They're just the best.
So what do you have coming up?
Actually, I just sort of finished season 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you have seasons.
Yeah.
See, I gotta get a new negotiator because I just keep going. You know. Yeah. So they're paying you big money too, like right?
Oh,
that's
big.
What I, yeah.
Big.
Okay.
No, they pay me in fame.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know that you were famous. Is there anything else you want to talk about at the Council on Age Adult Center?
How are we doing for time?
I think we got a few minutes left. 5.
5. Let's see.
If not, we can end
We have
it.
a lot of services there too.
Yeah.
I don't want to, just because I'm in charge of the fund doesn't mean I don't know that we also provide a lot of service. We have a nurse, social worker. We have this great program that's funded by your CPA dollars on helping people, home modification fund that helps people age in place if they don't have the wherewithal to make modifications that would allow them to stay in their homes. We have a system for that and money for that, up to $5,000.
And what I've told people about the adult center is that if you don't know, ask, because it's one of those places where you might find a service that you didn't realize was available. So if you have parents that you're worried about them getting out, then
Absolutely.
call and ask, or that type of thing, because there's so many different things going on.
I had a guy call me from California, a son, and he's like, "Would you make my mother learn the computer?" I have set up a family website, and she's got a name on it, and she should use it. And I'm like,
Well, you called the police and had to go get her and bring her over and learn. That's what we do here. So
I said, well, I'll do what I can. I'll suggest it, and try and encourage her. And what name have you given her? And he says Nana at the family site.
Yeah.
I'm like, if she ever did use it, it would be for her club activities and her other things. Nana is not her name. It's on the whole wrong track.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, but we do have children call worried about parents from sometimes very far away.
And so what's the number that they can reach on at the Adult Center for the main number there?
565-4150.
Okay, and it's important. So if you have any questions, whether it's for a spouse, a parent, or activities that are available for, I don't say for kids, but for anybody of any age, whether
We
it's
have
a language.
exercise equipment too.
Yep.
You're right. It is. It's like an anthill. And you could just go by, but if you stop, there's a lot of activities and a lot of diversity. We have a whole lot of exercise equipment, treadmill, bicycle. We got a grant last year for personal training, and with that, we also bought a recumbent bicycle, so you can sort of sit up.
Okay.
So if your back isn't good, but you want to strengthen your legs, strengthen whatever you can to compensate for whatever's going. Anyway, we have that. Those are all free and available.
That could be on top of the gym door, right? Strengthen what you can for whatever's going. I don't know how many people
make it a little catchier.
Yeah, or maybe more acceptable. But so again, at the Adult Center in
May 10th is Titanic.
May 10th is
a lot
Titanic.
Of people
it's
care
not the
about
real
Titanic.
lady.
Not the real one.
The Spoon River.
Spoon River is May 24th.
You got to go check that out. 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock for admission.
The Titanic is at 3 o'clock too, which also means if you have a junior high school student or a high school student who's interested, come. Come. Okay. Anybody can come. It's free and open to the public.
There you go. So again, any questions regarding the Adult Center and the activities that are going on within it, you can go to the longmeadow.org and click on the department, and you can go to the Adult Center, Council on Aging website. I think that's what it might still be under. Or you can call or just stop by, because that's probably the best thing. You can go in the store and see what they have for sale in there. It's they even have candy, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, see, there you go. Bring the kids with you. Go spend some money. You come out with a lot of stuff. So, first of all, Kathy, thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure,
Thank you
Paul.
for watching. And for watching the Upside, we'll see you on the next show. Have a good day.